The only
Fight Fiend forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, back for the props and parlay show for UFC 301. It's going down in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's Friday night, and I gotta say, one fight's canceled, and I'm glad it's canceled because William Gomes looked terrible on the scales. Had trouble. He didn't even actually have trouble making weight. I was going to say he had trouble making weight, but that was not the case. He must have been food poisoned or something by the Brazilian fans because he did not look good. He was 2 pounds underweight. So that was weird. He was 2 pounds lighter than he was supposed to be, and he said he was getting sick before the weigh-in. And on the scale, it looked like he was ready to get sick after they called his weight. So that did not look good for him. I'm glad the fight's off. He did not look good. I'm sure he was poisoned or something because that's kind of suspicious. Because last time when we were in Brazil, this happened to Armin Petrosian, and that was against Rodolfo Vieira. So maybe the Brazilian fans are a little too wild down there. They could be poisoning some fighters' foods that they don't like, but that could be a conspiracy. You never know. Definitely suspicious. Hopefully William Gomes is okay. I did mention that eventually he was going to have trouble cutting weight, and I posted it on my Instagram story thinking that he had trouble missing weight and that's why he didn't look good, but no, that wasn't the case. He was actually food poisoned or something like that. 2 people that needed the box of shame, though, were the champion, Alexander Pantoja, but then he made the weight, no problem, so not really sure why he needed the box of shame. And another fighter that needed the box of shame was the King of Rio, Jose Aldo, who's making his return against Jonathan Martinez in the co-main event. So both those fighters, the co-main event and main event fighter, needed the box of shame, but then they made weight no problem, so not really sure what was going on there. Everybody else made weight. Everybody else looked pretty good. As far as I can see, I mean, Erceg, Martinez, Smith, Petrino, Pereira, Potieria, and then the rest of the card, they all looked good on the scales, made weight. We're ready to go for the props now. And I don't have a main card prop and a prelim prop, but we got a forecast of the week. I'm going to give you the locks and dogs of the week, and then I'll give you some free bets, and then we'll craft up a bet together at the end of the show here. So first up, the forecast of the week. We had people wanting Mauricio Ruffy by KO, but unfortunately, one of the main requirements is plus money, and it was not plus money when I seen it. It was under plus 100. It was $1.95 when I seen it. It went down, I believe, since then. Might be down to $1.80. So Mauricio Ruffy by KO is juiced up, it's steamed up, and it's at the point where I'm not betting it. He is my pick. I think he'll get the KO, but I'm not that confident in the pick at all. This is a fight that I'm looking to stay away from at this point. Jamie Mullarkey is tough. He not necessarily is going to get knocked out every single fight, but he has been knocked out a couple times now, and his chin isn't the best. If he's going to get into a firefight and not have the advantage or the crowd in his favor, I think he will get knocked out, but it's not going to be easy. And Ruffy could get knocked out, but he's very good at range. He's good at picking his shots. And in his last fight on the Contender Series against a decent prospect, he looked damn good. His cardio looked good. And I got to think he's in check. He's going to get the job done, get paid in Brazil. But I'm not putting money on him, so I won't be getting paid if he wins. But if you're going against a pick, you like Jamie Mullarkey, congrats to you in advance. If that happens to hit, I just cannot foresee it happening. The other forecast of the week came in from Jesse Heck, and I can't see this one happening either, brother. Unfortunately, Steve Erceg ain't winning. He's not at the level of Alexander Pantoja. You know, he's 3 fights into the UFC. He's looked good in all of his fights, but this is a quick push to the title fight. And yeah, he might last 25 minutes. He might have moments in the fight, but Pantoja will win the rounds. He will have control in this fight. And on the feet, he could even counter Steve Erceg. On the feet, Pantoja looked damn good against Matt Schnell. Find the knockout finish in the first round. Didn't have any moments that he got tagged in that fight. I rewatched the Steve Erceg fight against Matt Schnell, and in that first round, he got tagged and wobbled almost twice. So I think Pantoja is just at another level, and Pantoja is definitely a level or two above Steve Erceg. That is just my opinion, though. You don't have to agree with me. It's completely fine if you don't. Plus 200 on the other side, that's a big payout. If it hits, like I said, I don't see it happening. But there was one forecast of the week that I do see happening. I have faith in. It's going to be hot. And it's Alexander Pantoja by finish, inside the distance, plus 145. Now, I seen it at plus 165 earlier in the day. Money is coming in on this. I have him by submission. Looking back at the Matt Schnell fight, you would even think the knockout is live. It could be live. Inside the distance at plus money, though, is the new forecast of the week, and it's coming in from Giraffe Goon. She switched over from Ruffy KO to Pantoja inside the distance. I can't agree more because he's one of my locks of the week. He was one of my most confident picks on the full card prediction show. And like I said, Steve Erceg is just not at that level yet. He might be in the future. He's still a young buck, but it's going to take another fight or two before he's ready for a guy like Alexander Pantoja. I could see a second fight between these two guys. I could see this fight going 25 minutes and being competitive. But I cannot see another underdog winning in the main event.
Enough with that bullshit.
But you don't have to agree. Like I said, this is what I'm doing. This is my forecast. This is what I foresee happening at UFC 301. And I'm locking in Alexander Pantoja. So the first lock of the week is pretty clear. It's the main event fight, Alexander Pantoja. The Cannibal will confidently take care of Steve Erceg in a title fight that I honestly foresee being set up, like a little bit set up, in the favor of Pantoja to win at home in Brazil. This is just another title defense for a guy in his prime. I have to lock in Pantoja. And I have to expect him to find the finish as well. That's why I am going to take Giraffe Goon's most confident prop this week and make it the forecast of the week. It's her most confident prop at plus money, and it's nearly my most confident prop at plus money too. So, given the fact Erceg has 3 fights in the UFC, I have to trust this. He's the next hopeless victim because you got to look at the other fights. Pantoja had the finish in. He submitted Alex Perez and Brandon Royval, and he made easy work of them as well. First and second round finishes. Pantoja is on another level. He's fought the higher level of competition. He's proved it time and time again, and I can't wait for him to prove it again. At this point in both fighters' career, Pantoja is way more seasoned, and I wouldn't even dare to think about sprinkling anything. Nothing. Not even a round 2 KO bet for fun. Not even a hedge bet on Steve Erceg. And the second lock of the week, yeah, you're all waiting for it, I know. You're just hounding, fiending for this one. It's Joanderson Brito. If you listen to the full card prediction show, and if you have some sense, Brito is ready to win for the forecasters and fight fiends. We want some big bags, and Brito is going to deliver. His last opponent was tougher than Jack Shore's last opponent, and that's my opinion again. You don't have to agree with it, but I forecast that he will confidently be ready to go in this fight and control the center of the octagon as well. He's going to have fought the better competition, being the more seasoned fighter once again. I hit my last 5 locks of the week, and they were all Brazilians. So there's no doubt I was going to lock in another 2 Brazilians, maybe even 3 this week. Sometimes I like to lock in 3 and really give you some good plus money, but for plus 155, you gotta love Pantoja and Joanderson Brito. Just for the win. Play at money line, put them together, and you get plus 155. They're my most confident picks on the entire card. Some people are back and forth on the Pantoja pick. They don't want to put money on it, but I'm telling you, I'm going heavy on this one. I'm going heavy. I'm not thinking twice. I'm trusting my instinct, as you should. If you don't agree, don't put money on it. Like, if you want to disagree, that's absolutely fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. But at the end of the day, let's all win some bags. Fight fiends and forecasters are going to win together. And for the Joanderson Brito fight as well, I thought it was going to be a submission. Now I'm leaning KO. So that's why my props are all over the place. Inside the distance is the best bet for both of these fighters. And anytime, anywhere, I think both of them destroy their opponents and deliver big bags for the forecasters. I can't wait. I'm stoked to keep this streak alive. I really am. I worked hard to get these 5 locks in a row, and I just want to keep it hot here. Another 2 Brazilians going to work. And the dog of the week, I had last week correct, and I had a big description here on why Don'Tale Mayes was going to get it done at plus 100. It wasn't the most valuable, but this week I'm coming in at plus 650. I mean, risk it for the biscuit. It's the dog of the week, and we got Jose Aldo and Elves Brenner. Big description here on Discord. Absolutely free access. And I have access for the locks as well. Props, not out there yet, but those will be in there soon. So if you want early access to some of these props, get in Discord, absolutely free. And for early access to all my bets, you can join Patreon for $5 a month. I have early access to the Platinum Picks, Method of Victories, confidence levels. We got a UFC line movement tracker as well, seeing where the money's coming in. So some fighters are growing as favorites, and some underdogs are shortening on the line here, losing some value. So you gotta get that early access 100% for $5 a month. It's worth it. We got bets on all sports as well. I got a Dallas Mavericks parlay tonight. I got an Orlando Magic parlay. We got Jalen Suggs 15 points, Franz Wagner 20 points, and hopefully the Orlando Magic win in the fourth quarter as I'm recording this video because they're down by a bit. I could check right now, but we're going to keep this video rolling. The other parlays there, you know, the Vegas Golden Knights. I got them in a parlay. I got an NHL shots on goal parlay. And then we got the sports parlay of the day, which had Franz Wagner, 20 points, Jalen Suggs for 15 points, and the money line for the Magic. Another part of the parlay is the Vegas Golden Knights. I'll give it to you with Jonathan Marchessault and Jack Eichel for a point. That is a 19x bet that I have half a unit on. Half unit is $12.50. A full unit is $25, and it's going to pay out $230. So the parlay of the day, the sports parlay of the day, might come through because Wagner and Suggs already cashed in at halftime. So let's fucking go. I'm just heating up now. I can't wait. I have over 10 bets, probably 15, 20 for UFC 301. But the dogs of the week, I want to do a bigger description here on those for this video. So Jose Aldo, this is why I'm taking him. He's 37, out of retirement, and I kind of sense a setup fight here, but Jonathan Martinez is very tough. His leg kicks are phenomenal, but when you're talking about leg kicks and you're talking about the bantamweight division, Jose Aldo's a guy that comes to mind. He is the best when it comes to leg kicks. So he can shut them down, okay? And in front of the Brazilian crowd, I think they're going to be a bit biased. I think the judges could be a bit biased as well. So if we take that into consideration, some intangibles, if it goes the distance, I got to favor Jose Aldo, especially at plus money, especially given the fact that he fought the better competition. He has more experience, more credentials. He has the higher fight IQ, in my opinion, and he's going to be the more defensively sound fighter. So with that being said, Martinez will miss a lot. Martinez will have a lower strike accuracy than his previous fights, and Jose Aldo is bravely going to show up for Brazil, in Brazil, and deliver at plus 130. And I see him at plus 110 now. So some insight there on the line movement tracker. Jose Aldo has dropped pretty significantly, considering I got him at plus 130 almost 24 hours ago. So plus 110 already for Jose Aldo. We got money coming in. So this could be a huge return for the King of Rio. He could get the knockout finish. We haven't seen it in a while. His last 3 fights, all decisions. That's what I forecasted on the Full Card Prediction Show. I'm getting a little bit worried. I'm a little bit degenerate as well. I put some bets on Jose Aldo by knockout. Jose Aldo in the second round by knockout. I think it's live, but it's most likely going to be a 15-minute war. That's what I foresee. And my boy Elves Brenner is going to produce some big bags as a plus 225 underdog. He won his last 2 fights by knockout. I cannot and will not count him out. You know, he was a big underdog against Garam Kutaladze. And he came back in the 3rd round, showed his cardio, his durability, and his heart. He's going to fight for your money. I don't know how people can go against him. I don't know how the bookies can even make Maitabik Orobai a 3-1 favorite. He is getting far overvalued in this spot, rather. If you like it or not, that's the truth. And we're going to have to see if the truth unfolds here tomorrow night, today, whenever you're listening, because Maitabik Orobai could be a monster, but he could be a fraud. We don't know. He only fought once against Uros Medic, who was not training for grappling or takedown defense. It was a short notice fight, and Maitabik, prior to the UFC, knocked out opponents that were 18-15, 10-8, and they were both in the 2nd round. Like, he was not making easy work of these opponents. And not too long ago, he even went the distance with Jalen Fuller, who is now 7-4. So that is not a good look in my opinion. At 3-1, I don't think so. He has 1 loss, and the guy was 11-0 from Russia. Now, it looks like a good loss. I think it looks like a good loss until I do my real hard research, digging deep, right? I'm not just taking one layer off. I'm going serious when I'm doing my research here. And you are fully capable of doing it too, because it's right here in front of me on my screen. It's 3 taps away. The guy that was 11-0 that Orobai lost to fought absolute bumps. Like, his level of competition was horrible. He recently just beat opponents that were 10-8, 12-10, and 18-6. I do not trust Maitabik Orobai, and I honestly, strongly believe he is overvalued in this spot. And I know for a fact Elves Brenner can buckle down and break this bum. I know for a fact he can. Let's get some big bags in Brazil with Brenner at plus 225. Like I said, this is my pick. This is my prediction, my forecast. If you don't like it, suck it, because this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going to spend my money. This is how I expect to make it. If you're going against me, congrats in advance, but I don't see it happening. The forecast is locking in, and we're going to stay hot with the locks of the week, the dogs of the week, and we're going to make some big bags in Brazil. I cannot wait. Now I'm going to give you some free bets. Now, you do not have to agree with every pick on the Full Card Prediction Show or every prop I give out on this Props and Parlays show. And you don't have to agree with these bets I give out, but, you know, these are some free bets I'm giving out. This is what I'm doing. Some of you might like it. Some of you might appreciate it. I'm putting some work in, trying to give you a free video, some picks. I'll try to give you my most confident ones. We're going to try to cash in here. And I'll give you my most confident Degenerate Double. I got 4 of them. They're on Patreon for $5 a month, along with these 20 bets I have for UFC 301. We're going to go big. This Degenerate Double is going to bring home some bags. I have faith in it. Anderson Brito in the first round. Add on Mikael Pereira in the first round. I got 2 first-round finishes. I've had some shady luck with the first-round finishes, but in Brazil, we're getting back on track, and both these are going to cash in. I'm putting a unit and a half on this bet, so that's $37.50 to return $346.50. Let's get it, forecasters. That's my first Degenerate Double. I'll give you another one. I'll give you a very big long shot. I'm going Anderson Brito in the first round by knockout on this one, 7x. And I'm adding on Jose Aldo in the second round by knockout. I'm putting a half unit, $12.50 for $1,300. So if we can cash that, we're talking some big bags. Big bags. And I'll give you another Degenerate Double. Here we go. Elves Brenner KO with Jose Aldo KO. I got a half unit on this one for almost $1,000. So there's another big bag. And the other one, do you want the other one? All four? That might be too degenerous. But I will give it one parlay before I go here. And it's my most confident parlay. I doubled down on this one on the money line. This is what I got on the money line. I'm not giving you the other one with some props on it. You got to join Patreon for $5 a month to see all my bets, all my picks with the confidence levels, method of victories. But I do post my picks on Instagram, Twitter, just a couple hours before the fights. So make sure you're following me on all platforms. Make sure you're smashing that like button, suplexing the subscribe button, and you're not missing a single minute or a single show from the Fight Fiend forecast. I just posted a short video as well, so you got some early access that Alexander Pantoja is my most confident pick, and he's my lock of the week. So he's going to start off this parlay, my most confident parlay, on the money line. I got 6 of them here, so it's called the Brazilian 6. Alexander Pantoja, Jose Aldo, Mikael Pereira, Yoanderson Brito, Ismael Bonfim, Alessandra Costa. 1 unit, $25. Will return $380. Those are my 6 most confident Brazilian picks on the card. I know we got Kyle Brahalo as a 5-1 favorite. We got some other massive favorites as well, Vitor Petrino. But I'm not looking to bet on too many 5-1 favorites, 4-1 favorites. I'll risk it for the biscuit. I got Alessandra Costa, who's a slight favorite that I have high confidence in. And then I tagged on my dog of the week, my most confident one, Jose Aldo. So I'm looking to deliver some big bags for the forecasters. If you appreciate my videos, please smash that like button, suplex the subscribe button, and if you're on Underdog Fantasy, I'm going to craft up some parlays, put them in Patreon, put some free ones in Discord, and when you deposit money into Underdog Fantasy, make sure to use the code FIGHTFIEND, and then they will return the amount that you put in and deposit, so they will give you back 100% of the amount you put in. So then you can have double the amount to play with on Underdog Fantasy. Just use the code FIGHTFIEND. I'm on there, and I'm giving out some free bets in my Discord. So make sure to smash that free promotion code when you deposit. Let's get it, forecasters. It is time to get some big bags and keep that streak hot.
Don't ever stop, always keep it hot.
You will get rich quick. We all will.